So let's talk about the 3 keys to leadership in building a large organization. The first key is to listen. And when I mean listen not just with your ears, but with your eyes and your heart too. People can tell if you're distracted. Even if you're on the phone with them, what I want you to do is if you're talking to someone on the phone, pretend that they're physically sitting in front of you. We need to really hear what they're really saying, completely undistracted, not checking our messages or on social media at the same time, and just being truly there. We also want to use our emotional intelligence as well while we're listening to them. And using our emotional intelligence is about listening so we can understand what they're really saying behind the words. We want to understand where they're coming from and why they're reacting that way, or why they have the mindset of the way they do. So when we listen, we really truly want to be listening with our ears, our eyes, and our heart. You know, a lot of leaders tell me that sometimes it's hard because, people will bring their problems to them and they feel bogged down by all the problems that their people are bringing to them. But, as a leader, it's not our job to solve people's problems, but it is our job to teach them how to think differently about the problem. Don't fix their problem, fix their mindset. And that only comes by really, truly making them feel like they're being listened to and that they're being heard. They say that the majority of the people that are filled in the jails today are a lot of people that feel completely understood and not heard. The second key to leadership is to lean in. What do I mean by leaning in? Well, leaning in, just for example, Jesus didn't sit on a high throne bossing servants around. He was a leader who insisted in walking amongst the crowd, healing the sick and encouraging the poor. I remember early in my career when I was such an introvert, believe it or not, and after I would speak in a large crowd and do my presentations for our seminars, for our company, I'd exit the stage and I'd pretend to actually be on the phone as I ran to the bathroom because I was so uncomfortable. I was so immature and immature in my career that I only stopped to talk to the people that I knew. And I was uncomfortable talking to people that I didn't know. I was uncomfortable talking to people that were not on my team and only comfortable wanting to talk to the people on my team. But then I read a book called Lead Like Jesus by Ken Blanchard. And in the book, he said to serve with your hands, your heart, and your eyes. And leadership is about serving people and walking slowly through the crowd. So then I started the uncomfortable practice of walking slowly through the crowd and making sure that I was making eye contact with each person that came up to talk to me. And at first it was uncomfortable, but now I really enjoy it. Now when I see people, I really want to genuinely hear how they're doing. Tell me about your story. When I'm meeting them for the first time, I was afraid that it was going to take from me as a leader to talk to more people, to answer more phone calls, to get back to more people that were not in my department, that were not in my team that I was directly responsible for, right? I used to feel like when I was younger that it was taking away by doing that. But what I found is that the community has just, whatever you give comes back to you. Whatever you put out comes back to you. And in the end, I actually really felt really more full so I could overflow. It's this energy exchange that we give. Someone told me that if you treat everyone in the room as if they're on your team, someday they will be. So someday you'll look around the entire room and it will be filled with your team. People want to be with those who actually want to be with them. So think about, how are you treating the people that you're leading? Do they sense that it's an inconvenience right now, that you're having to stop to talk to them? Or do they sense that you want them there in your presence? Number 3, the third key to leadership is to love unconditionally. Simon Sinek wrote an incredible book called The Infinite Game. And in it, he talks about how to build great team culture. And he wrote an equation that said culture equals values plus behavior. Culture equals the values that you have as a team, as a company, plus the behavior that you give. And to build a culture based on trust takes a lot of work. Simon Sinek says it starts by creating a space in which people feel safe and comfortable to be themselves. I believe that this only comes by unconditionally loving and accepting of all people. Because when people can feel unconditionally loved, then they can feel like it's a safe place to be themselves. It's a safe place to make mistakes. And isn't that what leadership is all about? Teaching someone how to go out of their comfort zone and doing something that they otherwise wouldn't have done if it were not for you. How can they do that trust fall if they can't trust you because they don't feel like you unconditionally love and accept them for who they are right now, while you're also believing in the person that they can become? So I hope that these 3 keys to leadership helped you in your day today. Go out there and make it a great day.